How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There are some of the largest investors in the world that are now buying Bitcoin and talking about Bitcoin and meeting with Michael Saylor about Bitcoin. I want to talk about how Bill Ackman is probably buying Bitcoin or very close to buying Bitcoin right now. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one as soon as I make them. There will also be a few links underneath the video. One is to Margex, where you can trade cryptocurrencies on leverage. It's not right for everyone, but in case you want to amplify your returns during this bull market cycle and you can manage risk properly, you can check out the link underneath the video. Everyone's welcome. Just make sure that you follow their terms and conditions. Also, there is a deposit bonus when you use my link underneath the video. There's also a link down there to CoinW, where you can trade futures. And you can also trade spot cryptocurrency, or you can buy spot Bitcoin, spot crypto. There's also a link down there to Blowfin as well. Now, something interesting just came out. Bill Ackman just tweeted about Bitcoin, and he actually replied to this. Bitcoin miners devour energy at record pace during crypto run-up. Now, I haven't read this article here, but Bill Ackman did say a scenario. Bitcoin price rise leads to increased mining and greater energy use, driving up the cost of energy, causing inflation to rise and the dollar to decline, driving demand for Bitcoin and increased mining, driving demand for energy, and the cycle continues. It's a spin wheel. Bitcoin goes to infinity, energy prices skyrocket, and the economy collapses. Maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. Now, if you don't know who Bill Ackman is, he is one of the most noticeable or one of the most well-known investors in the market. When you think about like some big brand investors, there's some big names. Probably Warren Buffett's number one. Maybe Bill Ackman, along with the Big Short, Burry. Michael Burry is also up there. But Bill Ackman's probably the top three, top five. And he goes through how Bitcoin's price can rise. Now, I think this might be off a little bit because a lot of the time when Bitcoin's price rises, the energy that's being used to mine, like the extra energy that's being used, the increase in hash rate is from energy or from areas with low cost of energy. So yeah, it does cause the price of energy to rise in those lower areas possibly, but it's not like it happens everywhere. But he goes through the scenario and he's really well known, right? He obviously knows what he's talking about. He's actually had really good returns as an investor, and he usually invests in very boring companies. Like he buys restaurant chains a lot of the time. And I say boring companies, right? They have good growth, but they're traditional finance. He's bridging over from traditional finance. He has a big name, and now he's talking about buying Bitcoin. He's a billionaire. He's very well known. This causes more people to pay attention to Bitcoin. And it's kind of hard to tell from this whether he's being tongue-in-cheek, saying basically, okay, Bitcoin's going to collapse the economy. It's not going to collapse the economy. It's maybe the thing that saves us from the overreaching governments. Some people are saying that he's in step one, like the denier phase of crypto, just like Michael Saylor was there before, just like Larry Fink was there before. Like you start off hating crypto, and then you turn over to thinking it's not a scam. It's actually our way out. It's our savior. Dylan LeClaire says, that's not quite how mining works, but you've reached the right conclusion. Documenting Bitcoin says, there are two sides to every coin. Bitcoin mining is lowering energy costs by helping offset wasted energy production. The majority of Bitcoin mining is now powered by sustainably sourced energy, and then posts a bunch of screenshots on it as well. Michael Saylor says, you should buy some Bitcoin, but not for the reasons cited above. Most Bitcoin miners are driving the cost of electricity down for other consumers, not up. Let me know if you would like to discuss one-on-one. So it is cool to see some of these people that are really Bitcoin native talk to Bill Ackman. And honestly, even if he's bearish on Bitcoin, it could still be bullish for Bitcoin because it gets more people to talk about it. As they say, no publicity is bad. So this is really interesting. This is pretty bullish. I also saw that Larry Fink was talking about Bitcoin just yesterday. And Dylan LeClaire says, do you realize how crazy it's going to get? Let's take a look at this video here. Let me play it for you.
That there's a lot of merit to it. There's a lot of opportunity. It is a great store, and this is where you can debate. Is it a good store?
Do you know how it's made? A bunch of computers figure out.
But the issue is if people believe that it can be an asset that can be crossed border. Right. And let's be clear, if you're in a country where you're fearful of your government, and maybe this is one of the reasons why China has banned it. Mm-hmm. If you're in a government where if you're in a country where you're fearful of your future, fearful of your government, or you're frightened that your government is devaluing its currency by too much deficits.
Like us.
I'm not going to go there.
The little elephant in the room here.
Yeah. You could say this is a great potential long-term store of value. And as I said, it's like digital gold. And I believe...
But you still can't buy a slice of pizza with it. Isn't that kind of odd that we're...
But you can't buy a price of pizza with palladium or gold.
No, but there you can do stuff with them. I can get stuff with... I mean, people use gold for stuff, right?
But you could buy and sell your Bitcoin. No different than gold. So it is very...
What is it? But gold is put in, like...
Jewelry.
And you know, iPhones, I think there's in some electronics, there's gold.
More silver and nickel.
But you see what I'm saying? It's There are practical uses. Bitcoin, it's literally a ledger. Right?
It is a ledger, but it's an international ledger. It's cross-border. It's bigger than any government.
I agree with you. It would have blown up, I believe, in FTX, and it didn't after FTX.
So obviously, Larry Fink going on national TV talking about Bitcoin, answering, I don't want to say hard questions, not soft questions either, just kind of middle of the road. Like, this is what normies are wondering. Like, if I can't spend Bitcoin, then what's the point of it? But you can't spend a lot of things that you invest in. What you're doing is actually claiming part of the network, claiming part of the token that can send value across the world, has one of the highest securities of any network out there, is unchangeable in what is going to happen in the future. Like, you can't change what the inflation is going to be. You can't change how it works, that kind of stuff. So it's immutable. So Larry Fink, obviously, like a person that people look to, runs the biggest money manager in the world. And yeah, very bullish on Bitcoin, obviously. We've talked about that for a long time. And then some wallet speculation. Wallet number 30. Speculation heats up again as Jeff Bezos visits with Saylor for the second time. So I heard some rumors about this, that Jeff Bezos was caught with Saylor again. And what was so interesting about this wallet is it started, I think, like a couple weeks ago. Just a few weeks ago, we actually had the first large inflow. Yeah, I think it was 225. And it was 26,000 Bitcoin at one time. Now, this is the week of when Jeff Bezos sold stock. And he sold $9 billion worth of Amazon. Now, what does he need $9 billion for? He invested in an AI startup, which was like, it was a part of 600 million. I saw that they raised money from like 4 different entities, including Bezos, and they raised 600 million. But he sold $9 billion worth of stock. Consider what, 40% tax rate. Maybe he's got 4 or 5 billion left over. And yeah, this wallet bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin at that time. And when you think about who actually has that kind of liquidity, nations and billionaires with probably $50 billion plus. If you're worth even 10 billion, are you going to put 15% of your net worth in an asset at one time? Probably not. And it's really hard to get liquidity. Most of the people worth $10 billion don't have $1.5 billion worth of liquidity. So putting $1.5 billion worth in Bitcoin is tough, even for people with tens of billions of dollars. So it had to be either a nation or someone with $50 billion plus, in my opinion. And Bezos, the timing and the fact that he met with Michael Saylor that same time period, like he was spotted with Michael Saylor at a bar or a bistro, right, in California. And then he spotted with him again. What are they talking about? Amazon stock, e-commerce? No, they're talking about Bitcoin. So obviously a lot of billionaires flipping over. I just really wanted to hit on this Bill Ackman tweet, though. It is interesting. Obviously, he hasn't talked about it really in depth, at least from what I can tell in the past. But he is a traditional investor that has a lot of eyes on him. I mean, let's just take a look at his Twitter page. 1.2 million followers just saw that he may be buying Bitcoin. Let's just look at this tweet. How many views does it have? 611,000 views. And how long ago was this? An hour ago. This is bullish. Let me just like and repost this. Now, if you are bullish on cryptocurrency and you want to go put in along, there's a link to Margex. Otherwise, yeah, get ready because this cycle is going to be nuts. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Check out the links underneath the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.